Now the latest edition of Life with Monte. Monte Belmonte is visiting the Springfield offices of Merriam-Webster, the dictionary people. He learned how the current political climate is bringing new words to the lexicon, and that's no alternate fact.
I'm inside Merriam-Webster's dictionary home base here in Springfield. Do I need to whisper?
You don't need to whisper.
Oh, so it's not like a library.
It is quiet as a work environment, but we can talk.
So this building is the home of Merriam-Webster, the famous dictionary that everybody hears about and references right here in Springfield.
This is the only main office. We've been in this spot since 1940, but we've been in this city since 1831.
So this is the technology you used to use to make the dictionary.
Yeah, this is a copper plate. I don't know what it weighs. I'm going to guess about 6 pounds. And this was used to print the 1934 edition of our unabridged dictionary. And you can even see this beautiful sheep engraving here. And they're the sheep's head fish. And here the sheep tick. that are all presented on this page. But if you project these 6 pounds to 3,000 pages, you recognize how heavy this book must have been in production, or what it meant to print such a book. But it also was the best technology there was at the time for a mass-produced, high-quality dictionary. This is probably the largest mass-produced book in American history. It weighs about 18 pounds. So we're very proud of it.
And so this is the unabridged dictionary, but the collegiate dictionary hardcover edition is the best-selling book in American history after the Bible.
That's right.
And yet, Merriam-Webster decided, you know what, let's put it online for free.
That was a gutsy decision. It was made in 1996, and it was a risk because we didn't know an important fact that we now know, which is to say that if this was a bestseller because people were given the book as a gift at graduation, for example, that might account for the numbers. But if people didn't use it all the time, then we would be sunk, because the real value online, of course, is traffic. And so what we have found since the dictionary went online is about 100 million page views a month, which is a lot of traffic. It's a lot of people who are curious about words. It's a lot of people who are language lovers. They're word nerds just like us.
So some people might think the dictionary has gone the way of the phone book, where why on earth would I need to get a dictionary when everything in the entirety of human knowledge is online? And it's amazing to walk through this building here because, you know, you do have little Dewey Decimal System-y card catalog things, and as you see here, you know, tons and tons of old books. But Merriam-Webster has managed, especially I think in the last year, to rise up and to show its prominence and importance in the digital age. Can you talk about some of the ways Merriam-Webster remains cutting edge?
Yeah, in certain ways, I think there's two answers. In one way, we're not surprised at all that people love language, that people pay attention, and that people are interested in the words that are in the news. And we know that since we put the dictionary online in 1996. So for the first time, we could see what words people were looking up. And that was a big change. About 7 years ago, we put Trend Watch, what we call Trend Watch, on our homepage, which is usually the most looked up word of that day or that week. So that we've got this sort of running commentary on the news as viewed through the prism of vocabulary. Because it's not always the most important story, it's not always the most important key word, it's the word that sent people to the dictionary. And there's no way to predict which word that will be. We're people who have a passion for language. We love our work, and we love sharing it. And that's really what's happened. It's sort of taken off because in the last 12 months, we've seen about 300,000 new followers on our Twitter account alone.
And it's interesting because it enlarges the social conversations that have been going on. So there's been a lot of talk about different sexualities. And one, I'll quote it down here. She put on Twitter, Laura Natural, people keep saying they don't know what genderqueer means, one, then two, asking why we added it to the dictionary. So it's fun and funny, but it also shows that with just facts and information, that you stand for something without taking a political stance.
Well, that's right. She's talking about a new word that was added to the dictionary, and of course, language is always changing. So that's really the job of a dictionary maker, is to keep up.
Right.
And so one nice way to project and to inform the public that we are adding words to the dictionary, for example, is through social media and keeping up with the language. Now, a lot of people are afraid of change and they don't like seeing new words added to the dictionary.
Right.
But the fact is that's always been the case, and it's always been our job to do. And we would risk irrelevance if we didn't keep up with the language. Now, we're a little bit behind. In other words, we are reporting on the language like journalists report on the news.
Right.
So that means we don't invent the words. We report on the words that are frequently used by the public.
Do you feel like Merriam-Webster is intentionally trying to change the conversation to be political, or are you a reflection of the conversation to go on regardless of, you know, this era that we live in now where people are hungry for facts as opposed to alternative facts?
There's an intensity of this attention at the moment, for sure, and we've been covered in many, many different kind of outlets. But the fact is we're doing exactly what we've always done, which is to tell the truth about words. So that used to go in one direction, which is we do the research, we read the books, we find the words, and then we present the definition. That's telling the truth about words. There's a new way to do that too, which is to report the data, to tell you that, for example, in the last couple of weeks, we saw the word gaffe as the most looked up word after the Oscars. And we saw the word recuse as the most looked up word during the middle part of the week, and the word refute at the end of the week. So that we
Jeff Sessions recuses himself.
And then Comey from the FBI using refute. And so these are words that we report on, and we're telling the data. We're exposing our data to the public. And it is, as I said, connected to the news, but it's not uniquely political, and our interest is only with the word.